What did I do last night? I cried myself to sleep.
Hello, my wonderful, beautiful, equally lonely astronomy class of 21-22. I bet you're all thrilled to see what I have prepared for you today. Well, lucky for you, you are in for a treat. We are going to learn about Procyon,
Procyon.
Procyon? Procyon is 11.45 light years away. That's like this far. Our sun is only about 91 million miles away. That's like this far. Procyon is in the constellation of Canis Minor, which is right here. It's the brightest in the constellation and the 8th brightest in the sky. My star's important and loved, and it's also the name of raccoons. My star is better than yours. Sorry, I got a little heated. I mean, I was right, but let's talk about absolute and apparent magnitude. Apparent magnitude is how bright a star appears from Earth. Absolute magnitude is how bright a star appears at a standard distance of 32.6 light years. Procyon has an apparent magnitude of 0.4 and an absolute magnitude of 2.68, which is bright, probably? Well, I mean, the sun has an apparent magnitude of negative 26.74, but it has an apparent magnitude of 4.83, which is just a bit brighter than Procyon. Either way, our sun isn't that impressive, so I guess Procyon isn't that bright, but it still appears to be the 8th brightest in the sky, so that's a win, I guess. But Procyon is still the biggest and brightest and bestest star to me, so let's talk about...
Welcome to the #1 Greek mythology podcast on Spotify. Today's topic is the star Procyon. Let's start. The name Procyon is Greek. It means before the dog because it used to rise before Sirius, the larger dog star. Procyon's rising time used to be super important in ancient Egypt because when it reached the time when Sirius rose just after the sun, it meant that the annual flooding of the Nile River was near. Procyon still rises before Sirius to this day, except in places like Egypt, where Sirius rises first. So that kind of cancels out the whole before the dog thing. This change was due to precession. It's interesting, actually, the reason that raccoons are also called Procyons is
Oh
because...
my god, did someone say raccoon? It's me, that raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy, ha 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 ha.
How did you get into my house?
I blackmailed your second born. Don't worry, she complied. No one will know the things she has done. And why are my captions pink and yours are blue?
Stop conforming to gender norms.
Shut your trap, lady. Let me be sexist and talk about raccoons, or I'll let everyone know what really happened to those Ugandan orphans.
Okay. Please, not another word about. May 19th, 1992.
The reason Procyon is the scientific name for raccoons is because, as you know, Procyon is referred to as the little dog star. And biologists once thought raccoons to be the precursors of dogs in the evolutionary sequence. But you know, they realized that raccoons are much better than dogs, so that could never be true. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Greek Mythology Podcast.
Shut it, Samantha. Moving on.
She was dyslexic, so I ended up doing the YMCA.
Earth is a unique place. Unlike anywhere else in the universe, we have life, we have intelligence. We have done greater things than any other morsel in the universe. We are truly special, and it is important that we recognize our uniqueness and preserve our resources, for we will never find another planetary system quite like ours.
I am Ryan Lear, and I approve this message.
Okay, just for funsies, just for like a few laughs, let's go over a scenario. Okay, so imagine with me here, right? Procyon, it has a planet, right? Maybe even several. That doesn't matter. What matters is that one of them is habitable. It's a little bit like Earth, you know? It's got trees and water, blah, blah, blah. It has a life, okay? And this life just happens to be, like, intelligent, not like Isaac Newton, but, like, maybe they've, like, discovered basic math, you know? Maybe they started, like, making houses out of sticks. It doesn't matter. They have, like, functioning brains. So I've come up with a plan to communicate with these people, and I've gone over it in class because it's so genius, okay? Hear me out. Solar-powered phones. Get rid of everything else, just make it purely storage-based. Just a huge storage hard drive, that's all it is. And then we just make like, I don't know, like a shared gallery. And then we all just share whatever we want to this phone so we can communicate what Earth is like to this other planet. There's no fights over, let's put that, let's leave this out. We can all just put in our little own piece. And since it's solar-powered, once the phone arrives on our little probe covered in bubble wrap so it won't break, these people, they can just watch our videos and look at our pictures, and they can just learn about our life and about our culture. Here's the thing. It's not that hard to use a phone. Stupid little babies can figure out how to use an iPad, and they can't read or write. So these people can figure out how to use an iPhone, right? We won't even put a lock on it. It'll be fine. They'll figure it out. So what if they can't figure out how to communicate back to us? Even after, you know, we make like a video explaining how, because obviously we're gonna include that. But say they don't have the technology, right? And they can't figure out how. That's fine. Because if they can't figure out how to get something back to Earth, then they weren't intelligent enough for us anyways. I mean, assuming this is American-based, we're just trying to exploit them, right? Either we just win or they weren't worth it anyways. So, yeah, my plan is basically perfect. Thank me later. You're welcome.
I am Ryan Lear, and I approve this message.